Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm coming to you today with no makeup on because I'm going to do a bit of a throwback video, one that I used to do on my channel but I haven't done in a very long time, and that is a foundation first impression. If you are new to my channel, I mostly do fashion and style content, but I do the occasional beauty video, so that is what I have for you today. I'm going to be doing a first impression on the It Cosmetics CC cream, which I've heard a lot about. A lot of people really love this. My friend Melody picked this up for my birthday recently and I'm very excited to test it out for today's video. So I hope you enjoy the video. Please do subscribe if you like the content that I make, or if you like more fashion and style content as well. I upload a new video every single week, and let's get started. So the It Cosmetics CC cream, the full name is Your Skin But Better CC Plus Color Correcting Full Coverage Cream and Anti-Aging Hydrating Serum plus SPF 50. It is paraben free and cruelty free. It costs $73 in New Zealand. You can buy it from Sephora. There's also a mini version that you can get for $29. However, it looks like they don't stock the full range of colors in the mini version. I picked mine up in the shade Fair. Sephora has a color matching thing on their website where you can put in what shade you are in a different foundation that they stock, and they will match you up to a foundation from a different line. So I put in my NARS Sheer Glow color and it matched me up to shade Fair, which hopefully will match me. There are 14 shades on the New Zealand Sephora website. I'm not sure if there are more shades overseas, but 14 in New Zealand, and I think Fair is the second lightest. There's also one called Fair Ivory, which I assume is lighter. It's a bit hard to tell though because they're in alphabetical order rather than color order. So at $73 it is a high-end foundation, however it is still cheaper than NARS, so I am excited to see if it's going to be worth the price. So this is what the bottle itself looks like. It has the nice silver packaging with the actual color showing through in one little part here. It has the shade name on the back, and then all the same information basically that's on the box is also printed on the actual tube itself. And then it is a pump. One other thing to mention is there's also a matte version and an illuminating version. I haven't heard brilliant things about the illuminating one. I've heard that it's just way too radiant, it looks a bit sweaty, it's just too much. I was considering the matte version though because I do like quite a matte foundation even though I have a drier skin type. But after watching a couple of reviews on the matte version and the regular version, I figured the regular one was the one to go for because it seems to work for the most people. So I think we're ready to just put it on and see how we go. I do have a little pimple that's literally popped up this morning. It wasn't here yesterday. I don't like putting makeup straight onto a new pimple, so I'm just putting a little bit of Vaseline on first, hopefully to help protect it a little bit. So the consistency you can already see is quite thick. It's not dripping down my face at all. It's kind of staying together. This definitely has a scent as well. It's quite a almost citrusy, very summery scent. I think the color match is pretty spot on. Hopefully it won't oxidize and get darker. We are in winter here, so I thought I'd err on the side of caution and get like a lighter shade. This is what it looks like. I've just done one layer, as you saw. I don't like a super heavy foundation, so I'm not going to try and build it up at all. It's definitely radiant and glowy. I would not want any more glow than this. I'm definitely not going to be looking into the illuminating version anytime. But it is nice to have a bit of a glow, especially when I'm so used to wearing matte foundations all the time. I do like this. It definitely hasn't covered up my pimple. You can still see that very clearly, but that is probably because I have the Vaseline on it, so I'm sure the foundation won't stick to Vaseline, which is why it's still there. Because aside from that, it looks like it's actually got fairly decent coverage, like not high coverage, but I would call this a decent light to medium. I don't like heavy coverage, I don't like full coverage. I really just like something to even out my skin tone, so this is exactly what I was looking for. If you are looking for full coverage, it says on the packaging that 1 to 2 pumps should give you full coverage. So you probably can build it up. like I said, I'm not going to try that today because I don't want full coverage, but I do really like how this is looking. One thing that happens sometimes, especially with more matte foundations, is sometimes they emphasize my pores like around this area here. It's not doing that. It hasn't really minimized them either, but they're just kind of as they normally are. It looks really even across my nose. I find sometimes my nose doesn't pick up foundation. It'll probably get wiped off because I tend to blow my nose quite a lot through the day, but at the moment it's looking really good. Because it is quite glowy, I think I need to set it. So I'm gonna go and do that and I'll be right back. Alright, so with a bit of concealer and powder on now, this is how we are looking. The powder has definitely taken away some of the shine, but I think it's still quite radiant. It's not a mattifying powder that I used. I just used the Maybelline Fit Me. So it's allowing some of the shine to still come through a little bit. I think it looks really even and relatively natural. Natural enough for me to be happy to wear this day to day. Hopefully it continues to look like this through the day. I'm going to go away and put the rest of my makeup on now, and I will come back to show you what it looks like. But so far I'm very happy. This is how we're looking with a full face of makeup. I still think it looks really nice. It does look a little bit different in different types of lighting. So when I'm standing in the sun, it looks a little bit more textured. Like you can really see all the bumps on my skin. But in just like regular lighting, if I'm not standing in full sun, then it looks really nice and smooth and even. I don't spend a lot of time in like direct sunlight, so that is not really a big deal for me, and I really do like how it looks in just like normal lighting. If I come a bit closer, you can see for yourself how it looks on my skin. I feel like it might be starting to come into my forehead lines here a little bit. I'm not sure if that's the powder though, but hopefully you can see the texture a little bit there. It has made my skin tone really even. I'm super happy with the coverage of this. For me, it is perfect. Just enough coverage to even everything out and give me a nice base for the rest of my makeup to stick onto, but not like too much coverage that you can really tell that I'm wearing a full face of makeup. I used to get comments on my videos saying you're not even wearing makeup, like you just do your eyeshadow, and I'm like, well, I guess that's the point, right? Like you don't want to look like you're wearing a whole lot of makeup, you just want to wear enough that your skin looks naturally nice. So that's kind of what I go for. I think the color match is great for me as well, so if you're not sure what color to get and you do have access to the color match on Sephora's website, then I'd say it can be trusted because it worked really well for me. So far so good. I am going to do a couple of check-ins throughout the day as well though, so I will be back with you in a few hours to let you know how it's wearing. I'm back, it's mid-afternoon. I've had this foundation on for about 4 hours now. It is looking pretty much the same as it was in the previous update. I feel like it is a little bit dry looking on my chin, but I also feel like a lot of the things that I'm not happy with are to do with the powder rather than the foundation itself. It can be a slightly heavier looking powder at times, and I did apply quite a bit today because the foundation was so shiny, but I really want to try it again tomorrow with a different powder and just applying a little bit less as well. So I think I'm not going to check in again today because it hasn't changed so far, and I'm not entirely sure I'm going to leave it on for the rest of the day, to be honest, but I am going to continue this video tomorrow and we will see if it looks any better. I still think, like, from any kind of distance it looks really good, and I think overall my skin looks quite good, but as I said this morning, it has like settled into these lines, which again I didn't notice until I powdered. My chin looks really powdery, which again, because it was so glowy before the powder, I don't think that that's because of the foundation. So I'm gonna cross my fingers, hope that it looks a little bit better tomorrow, which you guys are gonna see right now. It is day 2. You'll have to excuse my wet hair today. I don't actually own a hairdryer, but at the same time I wanted to start filming this before it's too late in the day so I can actually wear it for a good amount of time. Let's try this again. Just put the foundation on. I haven't done anything differently from yesterday yet. As you can see, we have that lovely glow going on again. So what I'm going to try and do today is not powder quite as much. I'm going to use a different powder today. This is the Too Faced Primed and Poreless powder, which is translucent. Normally I do use this with a big fluffy powder brush, but it actually comes with a little puff. And I think for the sake of trying to use a little less powder than yesterday, I might just use this and kind of just press it in so I can just kind of target it to where I need it. Sorry, the sun is being really annoying. Let me just... Is that better? No, because now you can see the stripes on my face. Is that better? That's a little bit dark now. Okay, that seems better. So I've just powdered really lightly and not even my whole face. I've just done like my forehead, across here, and then a little bit on my chin. It has taken away that massive shine that was on my face before, but at the same time it's still looking nice and radiant. And this is how we're looking up very close. So we're definitely looking set around these areas. I haven't actually put concealer on, so don't mind my like red patches around my eyes. So yesterday I said I had noticed it settling into the lines here, and that was pretty much straight away when I powdered. So I can't see that today at the moment, so hopefully that has been avoided by using a different powder. I also noticed that it was quite like powdery on my chin. And again, I'm not really seeing that today. It's looking a whole lot better. It has started to settle into my smile lines. I'm just going to quickly powder those with a puff and see if that fixes it. We are looking pretty good. I have high hopes that this is going to be better than yesterday's outcome. So I'll go and do the rest of my makeup like I did yesterday, and we'll see if anything changes, and I'll come back and let you know. Alright, so with a full face of makeup, we are still looking pretty good. Just a whole lot better than yesterday. The powderiness on my chin hasn't come back. I don't think it's starting to settle into my lines on my forehead yet. I think what I'm noticing in terms of like the texture on my face is that you can tell that I'm wearing makeup. It doesn't look like it's my skin. So I think it's just like a little bit thicker, a little bit heavier than the typical foundation that I would go for. But I don't think that that is in a bad way. I think it's just something that I need to get used to, because I'm used to like really natural, barely there coverage. But I think you can see like it does look really nice. It just looks like I'm wearing foundation, which is fine. At this point it's definitely not cakey. It's not super heavy. Like, although I said you can tell that I'm wearing foundation, yes you can, but that doesn't mean that it's like super heavy or super obvious. I can really only see it from like really super close, like this far away from a mirror. I think from like this distance, how far away I am from the camera, it looks really nice and natural. I think the finish is just something I'm gonna have to get used to. I'm used to kind of looking in the mirror and really not being able to tell that I'm wearing foundation. Anyway, I'm gonna head off and go about my day. I'm happy with how it's looking right now, but obviously I've only just kind of put it on and done my makeup. So what's the time? I don't have my phone with me, but I think it's about 10:30, so I will check in with you in a few hours. I'm back. It is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I've had the foundation on for about 4 or 5 hours now. It is looking very similar to how it did last time I checked in with you. The only difference is on my chin, it is starting to go a bit powdery. Hopefully that's showing up okay through the camera, but aside from that, it's still looking basically the same. So I'm very happy with how it's looking. I'm not really noticing the forehead lines thing like I did yesterday, and it's certainly not starting to look as heavy as it did yesterday either. So like close up on the rest of my face, it's looking pretty good. There's where my forehead lines go. And yeah, you can see them just because you can always see them, but it's not really settled into the lines at all. And now that I've powdered my smile lines, it's not really settled into them either. So at the 5-hour mark, I am happy. I'm going to check in with you guys probably just one more time at the end of the day, just before I take my makeup off. Final update of the day, it is almost 8 o'clock in the evening. It's been a whirlwind of the day. I had to finish all my reports for school, which took me hours, to be honest. And then Jonathan's out at a shoot. He was meant to be home at like 7 and now it's almost 8 and he's still at the shoot. So I'm in the middle of making dinner. I never eat this late, but I thought I would jump on here and give you the final update before it gets too late at night and I just want to take my makeup off and go to bed. So the good news is that my foundation is looking exactly the same as it did in the previous update. So nothing has changed. The powderiness that was on my chin hasn't like started happening anywhere else. If anything, it actually looks more natural than it did in the last update. If some has come off around my nose, it's because I just blow my nose constantly. I think I mentioned that yesterday, but that's not the foundation's fault, that's just me. Yeah, so it's looking really, really good. It's still got a tiny bit of a sheen, but it's just looking really nice and natural at this point. Even my chin, I feel like it's not as bad as it was in the previous update. I don't know, you let me know what you think. It might just be the lighting, but I don't think it's as noticeable as it was before. Oh my god, is my chin uneven? Ugh. When you start to film yourself, you start seeing things that you really don't need to know about your face. Anyway, since this is the final update, do I think it's worth the money? $73, I think it is. It's cheaper than NARS foundations, which tend to be like between $80 to $90. I think the coverage and the finish of it is really beautiful. It's got good staying power. I have had this on for, what time did I put this on? I've had this on for like 10 hours. I don't usually wear foundation for a full day, but even if I was to wear it for like another 5 hours, since it hasn't changed between the previous update and now, I feel like it would continue to look the same as it does now for another few hours. Yeah, I mean, it's not looking patchy anywhere, it's not sinking into my pores, it's not started to break up or anything, so I am really pleased. And my skin is on the drier side, so I think this would work really well for dry to normal skin types. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this video because I need to get back to making my dinner. I really hope you have enjoyed watching. Thank you so much for being here on my channel. My next video is going to be a Pan That Palette update, so if you are here for the beauty content, then keep an eye out for that one. Anyway, I'm gonna go because these outros always get really rambly and weird. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!